with a Make It Monday for you. I just wanted to use my stencils in a new to me way. I don't know if it's new to you or not, but Paper Tray Ink has so many wonderful stencils right now, and I have loved using them. So what we're going to combine today is any of the stencil basics from Paper Tray Ink, along with watermark ink or slow embossing powder. That's the kind that I like, is that it's super sticky, and you can wait plenty long in between applying your embossing powder before it dries. And then any of the embossing powder that you choose. I'm pretty sure you're like me and have a hefty stash of embossing powder to use, so let's find a fun way to use them. On this first card, what I've done is used the hexagon, Stencil Basics hexagon, and just white cardstock. And then after applying my watermark ink, I used Wow Salsa embossing powder, and it is coated with glitter, and so when this dries you have the most beautiful glittery sheen to it. And let's see, for this card I used the Stencil Basics Sunburst and lemon tart ink, or excuse me, lemon tart cardstock, and then I used gold embossing powder, and it just provides a really subtle little sheen, but I love it. I've also added some sponging with different shades of yellow and some Summer Sunrise in there over the top of my embossing. So we'll make a fresh new card, starting with Winter Wisteria cardstock. And for this one, I am going to use my, I had to look this word up online to make sure I was pronouncing it correctly, but my Caterfoil stencil. And apparently I have been saying it wrong forever and ever. Anyway, Caterfoil. So all you need is your embossing pad, and I just use a fresh new dauber, and all you're going to do is just lightly, actually not so lightly, get this foam pad inked up, and then just go over your surface area. And I don't like to go over mine so that it's 100% precise. I think it's kind of fun to leave some gaps and spaces in there. So there's not a whole lot you can see at this point, but I'm just coating this surface area where I want the embossing powder to adhere. Okay, so I can remove my stencil now, and you can see the beautiful pattern left behind. And now I've got to coat this with, I'm just going to use Zing White embossing powder. It goes on pretty thick, and I really love the coverage. So I'm going to lightly shake that on there and tap off the extra. And it's just so beautiful. Isn't that the most beautiful pattern? Okay, so now all I've got to do is heat it up and set it in place. Okay, I've got my heat tool here. I'm just pointing it down over my embossing powder. And I don't know that you'll be able to see the transformation or not, but I remember before I had learned to heat emboss, I thought it was such an intimidating technique, and I didn't know where to begin. And I just wanted to show you how very, very simple it is. You basically just got to have three things. Of course, your heat tool. You can find these at craft stores and all sorts of places online. And of course, your watermark ink, your embossing ink pad. Like I said, I really enjoy using Wow, their products. And then your chosen embossing powder. And these can be found everywhere as well, and they come in fine grain, they come in chunky, glittery, matte, all sorts of different options are available, so don't be intimidated by it. I don't know if you can see that that is setting in place. It develops a beautiful shine to it when it's all set. And I've already got one complete for you. Here it is. And so now I've got my beautiful background, stenciled background, and we can build a card from it. So we will begin on that next. Alright, I've created a card base, and you can see the beautiful background, the stenciled embossed background. It's just so pretty, so much fun. And now what we're going to do is just build our scene on the front of it. So I've used white cardstock again, and the Fun Frames die collection. And in the center of the Fun Frame, I've sponged on some Aqua Mist ink and stamped it with a sentiment from Biddy Bouquets. And the butterflies and these little pots and things, houses, they are from the Crochet Quarters Spring Fillers stamp set. So I'm just going to assemble that there. You don't need pattern paper on something like this. I'm kind of one of those people that feel like pattern paper has to be on every card I create because I love it. Of course, I've got Chicken Scratch Kingdom here and here, but on this one I think that the background is so bold that I'm just going to leave it alone. So anyway, I hope you have fun creating these backgrounds and focal points for your cards using the Stencil Basics and your favorite embossing powder. I can't wait to see what you'll create. Thanks for visiting. Bye.